Hi, it's Ike from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another book to read for you. Today's book is The Berenstain Bears Meet Sienna Bear for 1984. So let's get started. It was just 2 days after Thanksgiving, and sight and sound of Christmas could be seen and heard all over Bear Country. It seemed to me, said Mama Bear, as the Bear family arrived at the Bear Country Mall, that Christmas season started early every year. Yes, isn't it great, said Papa Bear, admiring the mall decoration. I'm not so sure, sighed Mama. I'm concerned about brother and sister bear. Too much excitement isn't good for cubs. No need to concern, said Papa. Brother and sister are good little cubs. I'm sure they'll be calm and sensible about the whole thing. But if Papa had looked at brother and sister, at that moment he wouldn't have been so sure. They would pass in the big new toy store, and brother and sister didn't look the least bit calm and sensible. They had just come home from watching Saturday morning television, and there had been a lot of commercials for the new Christmas toys. Sister had wanted them all. A bear hugging teddy bear that hugs you right back when you squeeze it, a ride on pink pony, a clown face motor kit, and a giggly goo, a shame substance that you could make into all shapes of all sorts of funny shapes. There have been some things that had a sight brother too, especially a remote control robot that could stand on its head in a dinosaur molding kit. And there was right in the toy store window, plus a lot more. Sister was so excited she practically jumped up and down, and when brother read a sign saying Santa Bear was coming to the mall to meet all his Cubs friends, she got even more excited. Santa Bear? She cried. Mama, may I come meet Santa Bear? Please, may I, please? In good time, said Mama, sighing again. Calm and sensible, she said, looking at Papa. Sister Bear could hardly wait to start her Christmas list. She needed a little help from Brother with the hard words, but she didn't need any help thinking of things she wanted for Christmas. Over the next over the next few days, the sign and sound of Christmas became stronger and stronger, and Sister list grew longer and longer. After a while, it looked like this. To see the rest of Sister list, please turn the page. You know, warned Brother, if your list is too long, Santa Bear might not think we might think you're greedy and not bring you anything. Sister hadn't thought of that. Santa Bear had a lot of cubs besides you to think about, all the cubs in the war. Sister hadn't thought of that enough as she looked at her long list and began to get a little nervous. Have you ever met Santa Bear? She asked Brother. Sure, answered Brother, who was finishing up his list, which was very short. A couple of years ago, he asked me if I had been good. Then I told him what I wanted for Christmas and gave him my list, and that was that it was fun. Now Sister was really nervous. She thought of all the times she hadn't exactly been good. The times she and Brother had got into a fight and shouted at each other. The time Mama Beth's lamp had gotten broken and they told a big lie. And the time they had let their room get so messy that Mama had threatened to throw away all their toys. Oh, I wouldn't worry about those times, said Mama, giving Sister a little hug. Santa Bear doesn't accept cubs to be perfect, just good. Then then she said, I hope you have your list ready because tomorrow is the day you are going to meet Santa Bear. Sister gulped. It's almost ready, she said. But what about your list for Santa? Yours and Papa. Don't worry about that, sweetie, said Papa. Santa Bear isn't for grown-ups. He's just for cubs. Puss, whispered Brother. Present for Ma and Pa is our job, Sturdy. Come on, let's see how much you have got in your piggy bank. Sister had just enough. Brother had enough and a little extra. That evening, Sister made a new list. It looked a lot like Brother. When they got to Santa Bear little house in the mall, the next day there was a line. While Sister waited, she began to think about Santa and what a hard job it had. She wondered how he took care of all these little cubs. She wondered where he got all these presents. She wondered then before she could wonder, it was her turn, and she was up on Santa Bear's big lap. It's very nice to see you, he said, in a deep, jolly voice. Now tell me, my dear, have you been good this year? Well, says Sister, taking a deep breath. I hadn't been perfect, but I have been good. Then she told him what she wanted for Christmas, and gave him her list. Santa gave Sister and every other cub a souvenir coloring book. The cover showed him and his 8 little reindeer flying through the starry night. Sister mind was so filled with thoughts about Santa that she almost forgot about the special shopping she had to do. But brother reminded. They found just the right present for Mama and Papa. Sister chose a fine new fur brush for Papa and a lovely new pincushion for Mama. Brother bought Mama a box of her favorite breakfast teas and Papa a handy pocket calculator. Look, said Sister, as they would leave in the mall. Another Santa, she was right. There's ringing a bell with a rather skinny Santa with a scraggly bear beside them. What a big arm! What a big iron pot that said "Help the needy." That's one. That's one of Santa's many helpers. Explained Papa. His job is to collect money to help the needy, birds who need seeds, squirrels who didn't put enough aside for the winter. The bear family all put money in the pot. Sister spent all her money and had to borrow some from Mama. Finally, the days and week of preparation and waiting was over. It was Christmas Eve. You know something, Papa? Said Sister as she helped hang the last holly wreath. I have been thinking about Santa Bear and what a hard job he has. How can we? How can he finish every cub in the world in just a single night? Where does he get all these gifts? And besides, how can reindeer fly? And how can the sage land if it doesn't snow? And how can Santa climb down our skinny little chimney? Papa took a deep breath, then looked up at the the starry sky? I guess the answer, my dear, is that Christmas is a very special time. That's very special, almost. Magic things can happen, and the most magical thing of all is Santa Bear. I say he has the best job in the world because the joy of giving is what Christmas is all about. I suppose, says sister, that Santa Bear, or that Santa could just skip the chimney and come in the front door. I suppose, Papa. Then before she went in, she took one last look at the starry sky, but it had clouds over it. And now instead of stars, there was snowflakes, thousands and thousands of small, silent snowflakes. Well, she thought, at least that helps with the slaves. When Sister woke up on Christmas morning, Bear Country was covered with a beautiful blanket of snow, and the floor beneath the bear's Christmas tree was covered with piles of beautiful presents. What fun! What exciting! What shouting! Then, when the excitement and shouting was over, the cubs watched Mama and Papa open their present. What lovely, thoughtful gifts, said Mama. Just what I needed, said Papa. It was a very special moment. Sister knew right then and there that Papa was right. Santa Bear did have the best job in the whole world because the joy of giving was what Christmas was all about. So that was the Berenstain Bear meets Sienna Bear from 1984. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, and have a groovy day. We'll have another video coming out real soon.